and we have no issues in reality, it's time for Factorio. I was just listening to the Grand Prix, actually. This will be way out of context for everyone who watches the VODs on YouTube, but it's the Austrian Grand Prix, and Lando Norris has stuck it on the front row, which is quite remarkable. It's quite a driver, Norris. Right, so let's get loaded up, and I can explain. Oh, I mean, microphones in shot, and in fact, I'm not sure my camera's not pointed in the wrong direction. Oh, let's just leave it. I mean, I'm only going to be so today. I'm only going to do. In fact, it is. It's all a cock, which is going to bring. Oh, I can't be bothered to do that. But yes, not the best start. Basically, what I was going to say is I'm only going to do 3 hours today because at 6 o'clock, well, I'm going to need to stop at 6 basically because I've got things I need to do this evening. So it's only going to be a short one, and kind of I knew that that's not a surprise to me. But planning around that, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to add some outposts. So there is an interesting thing I want to do with that in the sense that I want to build a dedicated. So should I explain it first or explain that first? So basically, I've been busy this week, and the base is much larger, like as in much larger. I'd said the other week that I wasn't going to extend the bus. I mean, in theory, I could do that now, but basically, what I did was I want to be able to run the base with solar in case we have any issues around, uranium and UPS over fluid mechanics and all that sort of stuff. But to do that, the solar solar field, needed extending massively. So what I was initially going to do was, because this line is unchanged, basically. This is exactly where it was in terms of, the line, as it were. And so all I was going to do was extend it down and across and round. And in doing that, I came up with a bit of a system for doing it that was actually pretty quick. And so what I then did is I just continued on. And it's not quite square, but I just sort of thought, right, well, I might as well sort of square it off, basically. But also, this has the advantage in that we're going to do a couple more artillery ranges, and that will. So if I put so this is the range of the artillery. It has. I'm going to go around and show it off, as it were. But this is the extent of the ranges, and this is me just testing what the manual range is, just out here. But if we do a couple more ranges, these outposts and the artillery on the walls will overlap, basically. This one maybe not sure. But, so in other words, there won't be any issues around biters sort of colonising the rail. I've not had any warnings that biters have destroyed this rail that I've seen. So I don't know if there is some still mechanism in it. What's that? Oh, that it protects your lines or something. But it's a bit weird that they've not had any interruptions. But I'm betting there are loads of biters quite close to the rails, if not on top of them. And what I therefore need is a periodic artillery outpost that I can plop down, and I'll get the artillery trains to visit. On a timer, basically. I might do a really long timer and just have some like fixed artillery at the outposts. And obviously we need to surround it by loads of, laser turrets and all that sort of stuff. But I was thinking about trying to do one of those snaky ones where it curves back in on itself. Because what the other option is I could set up some new versions of these, and it just delivers. I mean, in theory, I could use them, but they don't have a lot in them. But it could deliver artillery shells to a fixed outpost, and that's just every so often. So I want to do the artillery ranges first to get an idea of how far they are. But it's certainly going to be, we're going to need one, I don't know, if it's not here, then it's going to be here or something like that. So we're going to need them. And what that should also do is enable me to basically explore, because once an artillery piece gets plopped down, it'll sort of be that sort of range, and it will fill out a lot of the area, I think. Because what I kind of want to do now is I need to. Oh, I should know as well. Seems to be something nuts going on next door again, where there's like horrendous crashing and banging about, as if they're sledgehammering walls or something again. So if I look distracted, that's probably what it is. It shouldn't come through on the audio because there's filtering on it, but if it does, that's what that is. Don't worry, nobody's attempting to knock my house down. Yes, so we'll go on a little tour of the walls. It's like an identical, and that's what I found, is that I could do an identikit system that basically I could repeat over and over again. There were two things I added on. So there's a proper corner now. It's not all that interesting, but we'll go and have a look at it. There's also a proper outlet for trains. And because of how trains, the track, 2-segment grid system, basically it meant that, and obviously I just chucked these lines through anyway. So there's a lot of this going on. I'm aligning it with the rail. Oh, that one's okay, but I've done the alignment there. And there, and so I've now got a proper exit. If I want to do more lanes out, I've got a proper exit for the trains. Plan is basically to landfill everything's down here. Certainly, I can probably landfill most of this. What I think I would do if I was, doing megabases again, is have much less water on the map. So reduce the amount of water. Probably go with, I think a rail map is probably. I mean, what I'd probably do is use up the RSO and that sort of thing. Do a modded megabase. But yeah. So let's go and have a look at the tracks. Let's go. Let's just take my train. Oh, did I set the audio back up? No, I didn't. Because I set the audio down because I was just listening to some podcasts. Well, that's quite loud actually. Was it on? Maybe it was on 75. I can't remember what it was on. Yes, so we're going to have a look at the rails and the walls, and I can just show those off. But the plan today, it's not. In fact, the plan for the whole weekend, because I'm not yet entirely sure whether tomorrow I'll be able to do 4 hours either. It's nothing to worry. It's nothing serious. It's just something I've got to do basically. So if we head up to, I had to tweak this as well because there are these. Effectively, these are the train stations that you've seen me build before. I have discovered some errors, so something else we could do is fix fix them basically in the blueprints. Again, not particularly interesting, but gets us there. But I mean, before I build any of the other things, I need to build lots of outposts anyway. Particularly, if we're going to do purple science, it needs like tons of steel. So we need lots of iron ore outposts. So what I may actually just go out here and explore generally. In fact, I need to turn that off. I'm not a fan of this. I don't know if there's some way of setting it automatically. I love the system, but the 5 seconds it gives you isn't long enough. But yeah, so this is basically unchanged. The error that I discovered is that this wasn't set to limited to 50. What I should probably do is connect all of these to the logistic system, but this was unlimited. So some of the trains were filling up with, or some of these chests were just filling up. They're like, 2.5 rows, because every time one of these comes out to the station, it was sticking 50 more in. So that's the type of thing error I've discovered. There's also an error in the actual blueprint of the wall segments. There's a little bit of wall missing there. I haven't fixed that one. I couldn't be bothered. But these segments are unchanged. This is identical. But what the system that I've come up with basically, and I wanted to do it symmetrically, but I'll explain why I couldn't do. But basically, if we look at the map, so this is the station, and this is the the gate, the normal gate. I have, and what I've done effectively is there's a station every 12 roboports. Okay, except not. I'll get to that in a minute. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now imagine that's a 6th roboport, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then we've got the station again. Right, so each sort of segment, each repeating segment is 12 stations long, 12 roboports wide. It's 12, and I would have gone with 13 so that I could divide it into 2 easier. But it's 12 because that's how much the Spidertrons can carry. I could have fiddled about with how much they had in them and adjust it, maybe get down another Spidertron. Couldn't be bothered. They can support 12, so it's 12, right? Now, the thing that I've added, what I was talking about with the symmetry, was that after 6, so the 6th one, I say I would have liked it to be the 7th because that would be slap bang in the middle. But the 6th one I've then replaced with so there's no roboport. There should be a roboport there, but I've taken out that roboport, put in an artillery piece, and put roboports on either side, spaced so that there is a break in the roboport coverage. So if we go to the map, I put on the roboports, you'll see that there's a gap in the connections, right? And then obviously that's on the same on the other side. So this segment is 12 roboports long, but it's, a different 12 to the station gap. And the reason I've done that is that this makes this a self-contained system of logistic system. And therefore, when it's doing the tests about 100 robots, insert 100 logistics, 100 construction bots, and all those other tests, it's only looking at this segment. And that avoids any of the issues, like, for example, a robot here, say we got attacked all the way down here, the system is sufficiently dumb that it would assign a job to this robot here, and it would have no way of going, and it would just do the whole flying back and forth. Okay, so this is a break, but it's also then fed from both sides, so it kind of doesn't matter if you get some blockage or something. This should be getting artillery. Obviously, the artillery is really there. It's quite broadly spaced. It's just stopping anything from colonizing, in around our walls. There's then the other artillery pieces here. So we've effectively got, every 12 has, 3 artillery associated with it, 1 on each end and sort of 1 in the middle. The other thing I've done is this originally, the blueprint has a connection between these two. I've broken that connection so that it's then separate oil systems. It still pumps into both sides, so again it's sort of dividing in 2. But it means these are disconnected, so it's not, because if they stayed connected, that would mean the entire perimeter was 1 fluid system, which wasn't a good idea, basically. And so that's what I've done, basically. And I say, it proved in the end that it was quite quick, really. I mean, it would take maybe half an hour to plop down, not even that, really. Half an hour to plop down a new segment of wall. And most of that was in terms of reloading the spiders. I actually did another robot speed, so even that got a lot quicker. And basically, this is one continuous loop around the edge. It obviously connects to the outposts, so that our artillery and the resupply can restock both, the outposts and the walls. So we'll go and have a look at one of the wall connections. Obviously, it's not really doing anything. It was when I was laying it down. It was clearing out loads and loads of biters and we're getting attacks and blah, blah, blah. But at the moment, as I say, it's literally just there to stop biters from colonizing too close. And say until we push out the range, and then we'll have to fend off a load of attacks. So we'll go and have a look at this here. Why is that not letting me? There we go. This is the new connection. This is the new connection between the walls and the sort of internal main line. I obviously pulled up all the old walls, so they were like here, and you can see the breaks in the trees where I've done that. But that's all. So effectively, there was also that. It was I was recycling a lot of it, so some of the times I wasn't really, having to restock very much. But this is the same connection. There's no change there. But all I've done is I've aligned it so that where there's a roboport, it goes out through the middle. So we've got the two flamers here on either side. I've moved the pipes. It's not quite even, but there's a gate there, and I put this so that it provides some degree of coverage. Extra lasers here to because I can't put them there. But then we have the big power pole there, another one here. I was also finding that if I put signals here, they got destroyed by the flamer and stuff. So it actually has in the blueprint. It doesn't have the rail in it, but this is where the first signals are. So that tells me how far out is nice and safe, basically. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, basically. So we'll head back home and say, it's quite grindy doing it all. Oh, we've got trains waiting behind us. Quite grindy doing it all, but not too problematic. So I just pop it on automatic. It's obviously now that it's huge, it does take a while to get all the way around. But what I'll do, I'll show you. And I've done a lot of land filling just so that we've got straight edges, so it is a perfect. Well, it's not a perfect square, but so it's a square. But what we'll do, we'll head down. In fact, actually, if I put a temporary station on this corner here, that should work. So we're not too far from home then. But there's also a new, these are, because it's now all straight lines. I've got a blueprint for just spacing out stops, and they're quite far apart because the trains are just going around in a loop, basically. And all that's doing means that trains can follow a bit closer, basically, because without any signals here, they would have to wait here until a train clears that entire section. So it just means that they speed around a bit faster, but it gives a nice space between them. But yeah, so I mean, another error that was on the blueprint is somehow this had lost the train limit of 1. And also, I mean, there in terms of the, numbers of number of not limiting this chest was duplicated here as well, where I've applied it. But yeah, this was me testing out to see how far the thing goes, and in doing that, I've almost doubled the number of solar panels. But that means it's not. I don't want these to connect. They did end up connected to some of the walls before. Yeah, so we can do that. So I'll show you the corner, and it's just so this is the new straight rail bit. That's the the rail junction, say, and it doesn't have the rail on it because of the whole misalignment of the 2x2 grid to the 1x1 grid. That's the new artillery sort of replacement for a roboport. And this is the corner, basically. So all I've done is I've just taken the dragon's teeth round, so it overlaps like that. And then I've matched this up so that, the blueprint for the normal blueprint ends there. And all I have to do is take out the roboport. I say I've got another artillery piece there. The blueprint doesn't actually have the radar on it. I should have put that in. But yeah, so the normal blueprint ends there, and there's just then a tank that connects the two corners. And we've got like loads of gun turrets and laser turrets. It's quite heavily defended, just because sometimes corners are a weak spot. And then we've got a few gates for me if I need to get out, because some of these are quite far from the normal gates, so there's a few extra gates, double layered and all that sort of stuff. And I've tried to make it, attractive with the lines and stuff, but it's limited what you can do without the Factorio mod, in my experience. Right, so let's head home. I've generally left the trees. I quite like the look, especially when you get overgrowing on the. Obviously, this is all landfill, straight bits. But when you get trees overgrowing into the gates, I think it looks quite good. Looks like they've been there years, and the trees are sprouting up through the concrete. Not great for getting out of the gates with a vehicle, but now that I'm using Spidertrons, it's sort of irrelevant, really. What I would actually normally do is put gates on the rail to stop me, and I would stick rigidly to using those gates and not crossing the track all the time. It's why there's this run line inside here as well. And I'd put gates across here that would be linked to signals that would basically shut the gate, stop it from opening when I was, if there was a train coming, because they can move so quickly that you don't really realize, they can be on you. You look at the map, you think there's nothing there, and then suddenly they hit you. Especially like this, where it's just a continuous straight line. But yeah, I had to tweak this. I landfill that because I wondered if it was going to get close, but it didn't in the end. But there you go. I'll probably end up landfilling most of the lakes. Lakes are pretty useless, really. This stage of the game. So yeah, so that's the new defences. So I've given you a bit of tour of that, and that's basically all I did during the week. There wasn't anything particularly spectacular. So I did do an extra robot speed, that's why that's finished there. And that was it, I think. I think I did do that shooting speed, but we're up to 30 productivity, and we can do these, chunk through on the research. I need to kind of decide whether I'm going to try and mine out the internal spots I've got or just abandon them. Because what I'm thinking, what I'm hoping, is that there's certainly now enough space, and this is why I continued the expansion up here. If I can landfill all of these, there should be enough space for, if not all, then most of the research. Because this is sort of having put this down in my map and seeing how big it is on my test map. I mean, the purple science is, because the amount of steel I got to make is huge at the moment, but I'm doing local smelting. So I don't need quite as much as I've got on the test map. But it would occupy that sort of space. So say I can't lay it down at the moment inside the walls, but if I can, then that would be quite useful. And I can pull all of this up basically at some point. Just get rid of the bus, and then we can have an area that just makes the things we need for... Because this is what I was wondering about military stuff. We could have a separate factory somewhere, or a section of this factory dedicated to making just the things we need, because a lot of this stuff is now useless to us. It doesn't really have any benefit, really. So we don't have to make everything, just the things we need. And it's like, how much solar do I actually want? Because I could set up a dedicated solar production, or we just do it now until it's done, sort of thing. I say these are all the sorts of things that I don't know, having never Megabase before. Right, so as I say, what I want to do is set up an artillery outpost, or like an artillery firing station. I'm thinking about designing it here, because then we can also sort of test, because it shouldn't annoy too many of these guys. But what I can do, I can set it up and sort of see whether it's best to have the artillery train set up, come and resupply it, because you can take shells out of these and they carry 100 each. Or is it better to, if I do a new train that just supplies shells, basically? I'm kind of thinking that using this train will be better. So what we'll do, we'll hop in Spidey. I might actually just switch out. I don't need all of them legs now. And we'll turn that off as well. We'll get everyone to follow me. So 2 to follow. No, they've swapped over. 2, there we go. Follow you, follow you, follow you. And then get 6 over. 7 to follow you. I say we'll take everyone. We don't need them, but it's just easier, basically. Okay, you'd follow me. You'd follow me. And there we go. Because once it's all or not all, pretty much all landfilled, you know, I won't have to avoid lakes either. Clicking with Spidertron, I can just straight line is everywhere basically. Yeah, so I'll come out. I was thinking about doing it here. As I say, whether I need, because it would be nice. Maybe I should bring one of the artillery ones over. Oh, there's nobody there at the moment. They must all be out. In which case, oh, where are they then? Oh, they might be. I keep forgetting this exists. You know, keep forgetting this is an actual one. It does take them a while to go round, because it is enormous. Oh, the other I've forgotten. I put more spider legs in, didn't I? Yeah. So if we do that, because that's why they're so far behind. Let's have a look. See if we can find. Oh, he's coming home, so the one will be there not too long. But yeah, you see, I had to do all this sort of jinking around. And I can straighten that out if I want at some point, but yeah, who cares? Right. So was one of them going back? Reload. Well, it is, but it's all the way over there. But we could divert it over here, couldn't we? So if we have you coming here instead, I think we'll wait for him to arrive, and then I can try and... Excuse me, sorry. Maybe that's why I'm in the different thing, because I'm not quite central to where I should be. I'm having a few back problems again. Right. Where's this train then? Is that you down there? It's the same. I mean, it's one of the things I struggle with Factorio is the scale in the, and it's a I think, I mean, maybe it's just me, but it's like an artifact of the fact that it's Perlin noise. It uses an algorithm called Perlin noise, and it's essentially as I understand it anyway, it kind of produces results that are fairly fractal. And if you're not familiar with fractals are a type of mathematical algorithm where they're like recursive essentially, and if you zoom in, they look like, and I mean like, they're not the same. You know, they're not. It's not the exact same thing repeating, but there's self similarity. So a good example of it is that it's a bit like how it's essentially why models work. You know, like scale models basically. So, oh gold, they've just attacked them. I didn't even know that was there. Right, let's go over here and defend. Oh, I didn't think about that. Because this has been colonized, basically. Oh, and you're firing over there as well. What is your range? How far out am I going to have problems? Oh, crikey. That's quite a lot of... Okay, let's get you to move into the... into there. Rather than... Oh, there you go. Yeah, attacking the rail there. Brilliant. Marvellous. Let's take my bots off. Now you've probably... Yeah, let's pop you on manual. I didn't think about that. Right. How am I going to design this? I could just do it with blueprints, couldn't I? Let's go and see if we can find the biters it's annoyed. In fact, let's use you. They've got all robots in them, so... We're going to lose a few robots, I think. Let's use you. These guys are the ones, they've got explosives, because they're my death squad, as it were. Oh no, I think I took the robots out. No, I got the robots on. But it means, you see, they get blown up. And this is this thing where... Because I don't want to get these guys too close, because they'll just blow more of the rail up. But when the biters get to somewhere, they kind of have this like list, prioritized list. I've got explosive ones in. I forgot that. So let's send you over if we can. Is that they have like a prioritized list? There we go. And they sort of work their way down the list, and it's like military things first and things like that. But eventually they do get to normal structures, and they'll then attack normal structures, like railways. So we've lost probably quite a few bots there, because one of their favourite targets is bots, basically. Right. And so, of course, the bots from the, whatchamacallit. Looks like there was an attack here as well. I assume that's been there back and forth a few times, but that's the normal train coming to fill it up. Right, so let's do it with just blueprinting the things instead. Right, and what I'm thinking is that this artillery, yeah, it's kind of going to go back and forth, so I don't need to use a proper T-junction. I can just use my new, if I can find it, the new one that I made that's quite tight, that one there. So other one. No? I should, there. No? That one. So I can just use this, basically, and we can kind of plop it in, like that. And then the idea would be, there's a bit of a sort of it's away from the track, hopefully to prevent biter attacks, but I say that's kind of what I'm hoping to test. And then what? Then it does this whole looping round thing. In fact, how far do I actually want this up? It does need to be a fair way. In fact, let's measure it with these lads. So if we make this, say, 2 up, what does that look like? Because that's then a bit of straight rail, isn't it? We might spend all stream doing this, to be honest with you, because... Oh, it's the other set of rails, isn't it? There we go. So if this was here... So that's a piece of straight rail, so that's fine. So we can put, I don't really need them, do I? But let's put them there. And then whatever we do with the whole, artillery piece, it has to come round to here, basically. So what I'm thinking is it's basically a roundabout. So having spent multiple streams saying how I hate roundabouts, I'm going to put in a roundabout. So let's see if we can get it to be even vaguely symmetrical. This is where I wish they'd... I wish it was... So that's the sort of symmetry point. But I wish they'd put in that you could rotate rail pieces, because I could just copy up half of it. Here you go. This is one of the problems with the rail system and only having the 2 curves, in that doing sort of things like this is a bit of a pain in the bum. And it's why I kind of hate it. Are you going to let me connect there? Maybe. It's actually a bit inspired by that. Oh, I need to turn my bots on, don't I? A bit inspired by the, you know, that animation it plays. So if that's a curve, that's a curve. 1, 2. Is that 1, 2? 2 bits are straight. 2 bits are straight. So that needs to go. The animation it plays at the, you know, when you're in the sort of loading screen. That's not connected, is it? No. So that's not connected either then. No, it isn't. Right. So I guess it needs to move up, or if I have that, will that connect it? But yeah, if they had if they let you rotate, so it's 1 extra bit, isn't it? Just like that. So if that's oh. That's a straight bit there. So there's only 1 straight bit. Curve, curve, straight. Okay. So it looks symmetrical to me. Because that's got a straight bit, that's got a straight bit. Now, would I don't think the railway, the actual train would fit in there though, would it? I haven't got any, have I? So, it would be, there's like, well, let's do it this way. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, is it 5 bits of normal rail? Normal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But I can't put a station, can I? On a curve. Station needs to go on the straight bit there. Right. So, what are the other options there? Another option is I have the actual... Oh, I keep looking for the thing. If I just swap them out, actually, permanently. Station, there we go. I have the actual... I mean, obviously move this up. So rather than the curve being there, I put, say, the curve here or something. I mean, it's probably going to need to move up anyway, because... you know, because we're going to need room for all the roboports. So... Oh. Come over here. Oops, what did I do there? Oh, I don't know what that was. Whatever. Yeah, so trouble is it's now going to put these down. Will it not let me? It's obviously too close to the curve, I guess. So if that was the train, so let me clip that. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be nice, wouldn't it, to have them a bit more even, I think. Plus, you know, is that where I really want the station? Okay, so let's pick all of them up and move this a bit further. So to get that more even, I need to extend this a bit further up. Maybe to there. Oops, to there. And we'll connect that. But we also then want to move the whole thing bit further up, I think. Give us room to put in accoutrement. So, if that was the... Yeah, that sort of works, doesn't it? So, how does it look now? No, why have you not? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's going to be quite close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's better. Move it one down, maybe? So, in other words, move this from there down to... Let's just do 1 to start with. 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good enough. So I can actually move this one a little bit further up there. Okay, now what does a roboport look like if we plot one in here? So if a roboport was here, so it's in the middle. Where do I want the roboport to go? There, probably. Okay. So the question here is going to be, to some extent, is going to be how do I... Because if I ever have a roboport with, bots and refuel, I'm going to need to restock that as well. So in other words, I'm going to need the normal train, the normal restocking train to turn up as well. Which isn't necessarily a problem, except that I've given it a different name, but then I can have the same thing I'm doing in the other place, where it turns up with a different, we can maybe put it there and it unloads or something, I don't know. A interesting puzzle. So what I'm thinking is quite a bit of redundancy in this whole system for when and if, because this is, that's what I'm saying with when those biters turn up, they'll be angry and they'll chew on whatever's close by. So we want to have some redundancy in what we're doing. So basically, if one of those gets, any one of those gets knocked out, it will still be connected. Is what I mean by redundancy. And then similarly, we want a whole load of these, I suspect. And can I take it out to there? Okay. I say it's like massive overkill, basically. Maybe if I put that there. Should also hopefully look fairly cool on the map. And what I'm thinking, you see, is we basically have some, like, requester chests there, and I'd quite like to use buffers, but I haven't brought any buffers with me, actually. In fact, I'm not sure anyone's carrying any buffers. I haven't really used buffers much in this, have I? Because buffers, you can give both. In fact, let's just hand make a few if I can. You can get to have both requests, but they're not like exclusive. So it'll it'll move things around between them as needed. So what we can do, you see, and what I'm thinking, is we then have, in fact, filter inserters that will be safer. So let's make a few of them. Just in case of any weirdness, basically. In that we can put... Something I didn't realise is the stack filters only have one thing. I never really realised that. But filter inserters have multiple. Whereas, I say, a stack filter only has one. And and if you think about it, that's because it's going to be grabbing like 12 items at a time. I guess that's what they're thinking. But yeah, that's interesting that that only has one, and that has the 5. I mean, given I'll be holding 3, it's an odd, well, not decision, but it sort of doesn't make sense if you think about it. Right, so I guess we would then have, good old-fashioned emergency gun turrets. And I think we should put some here as well. Oh, I need to make a couple more each of them. And we have guns there. And maybe something like that. Oh. So yeah, so these would then, we can request up whatever we want in a sense, and they won't. The point of them is they don't like. Bots will take stuff out of them if you set the appropriate conditions. So what we want is 50 uranium ammo and say 50 repair packs in each one. So that I say I'm trying to do redundancy, trying to spread them around. So if the bytes come in here and they obliterate these ones, then they can just be replaced. And I'm thinking if we're going to have to restock this, we restock it. We have those requesters over here, something like that maybe. Right. So the basic question is now, how many laser turrets can we get in at the moment? Because we want a good set of layers of laser turrets. That's the straight one there, isn't it? Yeah. So we want at least 3 layers of laser turrets, really. So, the question here, I can probably just follow the curve and then correct it, maybe. So that's 3. That's 3. Just like that, basically. How far down do we want to go? We want to be, a good long way past this. Because we're going to need gates on it. And we're going to need, well, all sorts, basically. Oops. Oops, no. So, is that there? I'd copy and paste again, but of course, it won't let me flip with the railway track. Like that. In fact, that's wrong, is it? Wrong one. Is that yeah, that's as far as that'll go. So in theory, that goes over to there. Is that closest? Yeah. But what we actually want to do is flip this round. So that's the center. Is that lined up? There. No. Like that. So let's try and do it. So that would be that lane, but that's, you see, that's the straight across. So really want something like that, if we can. No, it doesn't quite align there, but how about now if I do that? No. Why is that not? Because that's equivalent there, and then that's lined up with the center. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So actually, that should be 6. Why is that not centered? Because that's the middle piece of rail there. How have I managed that? Can that? Oh, that can actually go one further over. So that should be there, which it is there. Okay, so if that's like that, take that row out again. So if I just do it one over, like that. There we go, that's better. And then we'll just copy and paste that up, because actually probably want more here. Like that. That's only too deep, you see. So we want even more here. But I don't want to leave sort of exposed corners. So that works. There we go. That's now 3 lasers deep everywhere. This is a little bit exposed, I think. It should probably be more like a normal cut. Maybe if I do one more layer, that'll make me a little bit happier. So this is the stuff I love doing, designing. Like I did with oops. The main defences. I think if you left me to my own devices. Well, I know what happens if you leave me to my own devices. I get wrapped up in doing this. And then the big goals around, you know, making all the science just get lost, and then I suddenly get bored. Why is oh, there we go. Yeah, then I suddenly get bored and it doesn't happen at all. Right, so the closest we can get would be there, but we don't want that anyway. What we want is something... No. We need to cover all of them, basically. And give a bit of redundancy, I think. So that's 4 in. And then we want, sort of, as I say, a bit of redundancy. That's not ideal. I mean, it's sort of redundant anyway because of the thing. So if this was here, it wouldn't cover it. So if we take that out, and that one, equivalent on this side. Now how far down... Huh, that's annoying that it doesn't go. Okay. So, I'm thinking we have some of them in there, and then we replace a few in here. Maybe that one. I probably need some... No, I don't like that idea. So I was going to need... I was thinking I needed some gun turrets down the bottom here as well. I probably should. What would that look like? If there was a gun turret somewhere here, I can't see how it would even fit in. No, it's going to be too close to the edge if I put it there. Maybe if I move this up? Or maybe I put it on this side. So, gun turret here. No, it's not enough room for the requester chest. Or, why not there? And then, I need buffers again. I probably need, yeah. Like that. Did I copy the recipe? Not recipe. Request. No? Why are you not? There you go. Now I want to leave this free for the time being because I might put, you know, oops. Oh, I've done that again. Right, let's grab that. Bring everyone over here and they'll fill out the blueprint. And I can check to see. Probably not good to have square corners. So we've got ones there that aren't quite powered. Okay. How would I power them? If this was actually here, it would power them. Oh, it looks like a key. Right, so if I maybe do that, well, that's going to be quite exposed, that one. Just to think you're trying to round off the edge, really. Now, we don't really want signals outside of the walls, so get rid of them. Right, so walls. I've extended the autosave. It's like every... So how far... It's like every 20 minutes, I think, now. I can't remember. So if I do, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's the wall there, what does that look like? That's a triple layer wall, you see. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 is what I'm thinking. And then gates. Have I got gates somewhere on here? I've actually been... they don't seem to be quite as tough. I didn't actually look at the stats, but they seem to be a bit wimpy. Gates. Oh. A bit wimpy gates. So having extras kind of doesn't hurt, really. But we can make them look attractive. Ish. Right, so that's lined up there, isn't it? So that's there. Don't suppose I can... Yeah? Okay. Do that. Real chunky boy. Right, so if I do that, can I just copy and paste it around? I think I can. So it would need to be up to there somewhere. And let's do a separate one of them. If that was too big. Spin it. So if we go there and so you have to be a little bit careful with corners because you end up with less thickness than you might think. Maybe that. Maybe extend that out there. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll chop this back a little bit. So that's 3 there. And we can take that. So I'll need to thicken these up. But this will get me... So that 1, 2, 3. And then that's there. Oops. Like that. And let's say let's do a bit of a diagonal. Oh. Something there. Thicken all of this up. Maybe extend it on this end rather than make them too close to the actual laser turrets. And even that out. So that's then 4 thick, basically. Yeah, okay. So then we want a similar sort of thing here. So that's there. We want that one past there, I think. I think what I'll do, if I do that, move out of the way, plop that down, and then do a quick special one of these that has everything except... Now, is it whitelist that includes it or excludes it? Right, let's include. Okay, so if we flip that round, I'll get rid of everything that isn't walls. And then I can flip it. Cool. I think we're going to end up spending all day, or I'm going to spend up all stream doing this. But say the plan is for the whole weekend is to do outposting. I say I'm not fully sure whether I might have to do a shortish one tomorrow as well. How about we do 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, and then maybe. So we just need to thicken this up. That's 5 then, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't need that. So that then is 4, 4, 4. That one's 5, but yeah, there we go. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, that'll do us. Could probably be a bit tighter here. And also, it's not quite that thick, is it? So maybe if we do... No. Move this in a bit more as well. Oops. No, what's happened there? That'll do. Something like that. Oh, that'll do. I think it's here, actually, the errors. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so same again. So if I copy that, plop it over here so it doesn't get too filled in. Use one of these. Cut and paste this. No. Cut and paste this. Flip it. And then where's it actually lined up? So that's the actual edge there, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Right. So if we... Oops. Right. Oh, of course. Do it from here. Where's there is? Oh, that's the point. I'm going to need logic on these, aren't I? If I'm going to have them, you know, turning up here every so often. Are we missing something still? We are. Obviously these are missing. Why does that look... No, it's equal. Yeah, because they're missing. So I'll take them out of the way. But I'm going to need to put the logic system in. I mean, I can put the logic system in the middle, so it's fully protected, so it doesn't get accidentally blowed up by the biters. So that's not a problem as such. But I've forgotten I have to do that. So, if this is... Can I rename this? If I, actually, what I'll do, let us put a little break in it here, because this is an existing template. So, you know, I don't need to include that as part of this design. But we can rename this as RT Firing Station. And we're all happy and good. How am I going to get that train over? That's a point. If I just temporarily, because I can just manually drive it over here, or you know, use temporary stops, and we'll just put a temporary little thing in here, because I'll have to drive it down this lane. You see, I'm going to put a note on the map. Remove this. Because it's left-hand drive, so there's no one else going to come here, apart from... We could get some... Can we? No, we can't get any weird repathing that will take the trains into this, I don't think. We'll soon know if a train turns up and runs me over. But, you know, it's broken anyway, so there should be no way for a train to get up here. And even if it was connected, you know, they've got a red stop there and there, so any train shouldn't come in. You see, my thought process, inspired by the... maybe if I put storage. Inspired by the old animation that plays. Because you can take things out of these trains. But what I hadn't figured on... It's not really... Well, sort of in the middle. What I hadn't figured on was, of course, that... in fact, I should make them passive providers, probably. And probably make these filters. In fact... Maybe I could use stack filters here, maybe. So there's... Oh, I can do that one as well, because that's why I evened it up. But yeah, we can take out, you know, some, say, a load's worth of shells from each of these lads. And then we can have permanent artillery pieces here. And where I was thinking of putting them, I've got some, haven't I? Here we go. Was in these gaps here. And then we can have... Do I want the bot? I could just load them directly in, but... If I do... Let's make them proper requesters. I've got to get bots in here as well, haven't I? Okay. So what we can do, we can have some logic system again that is feeding them in. And let's do the other one. So you're going to request up, say, yeah, 50 of them. You're going to request up, say, constructor box. There they are, 50 of them. And then you're connected to the... In fact, set that to 1. Copy that over first. And then you're connected to the logistics network. Oh, not the... Connected to the... You want to... Oh, is it... I can't remember what it is. Is it T? Let's just put T... Oh, so I think it's X, isn't it? Read robot stats. No. Total construction bots is T. Total logistics bots is Y. So if that's construction bots, that should be T. So if T is less than 50, turn on. And what was it? Y. If... And this was the area I made before on the thing. I think I fixed that. So if Y is less than 50, and you're going to request them up, you're going to request them up, and Y is logistics, and T is thing. Why is that switched off if there are no logistics bots in this system? Unless it includes total logistics bots. Why? I don't understand why that's red. Unless I've not... Why? Enable disable. Overhead stack size. Why is that one red? Read logistic convert. Oh, unless it's because it's that. Why is that red? It says Y is less than 50. And why is the total logistics bots? Because there are no logistics bots in there. So if I put that in, that'll start feeding that in. One of you has got... Come here. One of you's got construction... logistics bots. I know that for a fact. Helps if I open the trunk. There you go. So you've got construction bots. So if I put construction bots in here, it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because why is... Do that. Unless I've not hooked the right thing up. No, it's got the... Y is less than... Unless it's because I... Oh, okay. So it allows both of them at the same time. I always thought they were sort of mutually exclusive. That's interesting. But it should go red now once it's done that. So let's put 50 in. Now it's red. Okay. I mean, we're happy with it having them to start with. But the point is... that we need... requests here as well. And these requests are for 5 shells. Right, so we've got some passive providers. And we got some requesters. So say I'm going to need to hook up a logistics system to bring them in. Right, what I'm thinking is we take this, we head over to the outpost, I get in the train and drive it over. And we kind of see what happens. But we leave the spiders over here because this, unlike this, when I'm doing these, where the idea is I will have the spiders, these need to be basically autonomous. Why is that all moaning about not having bots? Oh, they destroyed the pipes. Okay. The pipe's not part of the request. Pipes are. But I guess a train's never been this way? That seems odd. How about we bring one? Because I need one of those over here anyway. So how about I bring one of the reloads over? And at some point I can... So we bring that over. Because I'm going to need to fiddle about with them as well anyway. Oh, actually, if I... Because if I put it there, then it's... Well, I could go around the other way, I guess, but... We'll park it up here, basically. It'll take a while to arrive. Do I want to wait for it? It's 4:30 already. We better, I guess. I hadn't thought about that. I guess that's as they arrived en masse, maybe? Or maybe it's my own turrets blowing them up. I mean, they're replaceable, but obviously... Maybe that answers my big problem, my big question. I mean, I need to rework these anyway, because these are too close, basically. What I really want is to double feed in. Yeah, I think that answers my question, because it would be better to have sort of self-contained production with the pipes surrounded, I think, for the chemical processing. So I think that answers the question. I think the outposts will literally be just pulling in the oil, and then I'll send them wherever I need to go. Because ultimately what I'm anticipating is that rocket fuel is sort of the end point for all oil. So what I was thinking, what I was debating around, was that if I'm using, say, petroleum to make plastic, for example, then I've got all sorts of options in that I could bring in raw oil and turn all of the raw oil into petroleum. Okay, do cracking locally on site, or I could just bring in petroleum because we could crack locally here. But then you have this issue that I had last stream where the amount of heavy oil and light oil needs to be being used up as well. Oh, guess we got a colonization. And there's also the option of coal liquefaction, like I did here, in that we could just have coal turn up and convert that into petroleum as well. So I had all sorts of options, but it seems to me that having outposts here that are raw oil, and then we bring that in, because most of now the processing is going to be in here. I think if I go with self-contained science builds, I can have where I need plastic, I just have I'll have to have coal turn up anyway. So there's still that question, but I could have stuff turn up raw oil and convert it all into petroleum or whatever. Because what I was saying, I'm thinking, is that anything that's left needs to go to rocket fuel. But balancing the amount of rocket fuel production could get quite tricky, in that if I've got, say, 4 oil outposts... Oh, here we go. No, you need to stop. I didn't see it arriving. It did go on manual, didn't it? Yeah, so it's down here. Okay. So let's quickly nip down. I should put some shields on just in case. I'm also going to move out of the way. In case some biters turn up. Let's have some shields and laser defences on. Just in case. So yeah, this one I also need to be able to pull up here. How am I going to turn this one round? So what I actually need to do is turn round properly, don't I? Because I need it to be orientated. Right, okay, let's just do that then. Have I got any rail on me? I haven't. So let's do that. This is the problem that I've created, that if I just use that rail temporarily, and then we break that back up again. This is the problem I created, that, you know, these are one-way trains. This is why I'm getting these sorts of issues. So this would turn up at our station. Oh, and of course it can't get in. So let's let it in. Like that. They're very, very quick, these, because the amount of locos on it. Right, so we would need a second station for it to pull up at. But where would that be? Where's a convenient place for this to, like, pull up? Is it here? Can I unload here, basically? Can I put a train station there? So if this was here, you know, can I unload this sensibly? It's not bad, is it, that? Might be a bit inconvenient with some of these. You know, will that grab? Because it's only got a few things in it that I want here. Well, I say that, it's everything, isn't it? Hmm. Now, are they going to grab out? So if I make these passive providers, what happens? Can I output from both of those? I can. So only a few. I mean, we could, you know, we could also do the things, but really I want. In fact, let's put some stack limits on these, so avoid that problem. So this, if we say that this is them, and we say, because we don't need them, but we do need ammo. Oops, meant to hit that. So if this is, say, ammo is going to be the big one, and they're all going to fill that up. You see, I could. Can I? I'm wondering if I can use normal filter inserters to get more things off. I did limit that to one stack, didn't I? Yeah. Because the gun ammo, the ammo's, you know, emergency stuff. So I'm not fussed about having a big stack of that here. But we're definitely going to need repair packs. But we need both types of gun turret, walls, gates, but also both bots. So maybe I do indeed use one of them, and I set it to both that and that. But I can't put filters on these, can I? No. So, how about... Can I double... What else do I want out of here? I want both gun turrets, so we could do them simply... like that. So that's them too. Lasers. Or do I? I mean, maybe I could get away... If they get to them, we're screwed. So maybe actually we don't have them at all. So actually that's wrong. And instead of that... Why have I only got... Oh, yeah, put them in there. Instead of that, we have this be the walls. And take them out. Put them... Oh, did that... No. Where did they go? So that's the... So the one I've only... In fact... Oh, no, I can work around it, can't I? Because I can get more out of this train. There is this advantage when you do angled things. That you can have more things on. But I thought already... 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh no, that's 6. Huh, okay. Right, so if I make this be... Loggy bots. And why didn't it do anything? This be construction bots. Oh, can it not get in? Is that not? No. Huh, can't get them. Bottom. In which case, the other option is we put something, you know. Or can I? No, because it's not accessing that. But I can do that and put this on this side. I think. Because hopefully we shouldn't lose them very often. It does make that chest a bit exposed. Okay. Okay, so I'm now extracting everything I want from... Oh. Is that train not lined up? Oh no. Because that's not actually... I bet that's not lined up. Oh dear. So let us... Rather than bring the bots over, I'll just make one of them. And we'll call it... Well, it's console 0, so if I just add on... What's it called? Console 0. And we send it to there. No, don't... Where are you going? Why has it gone round all there? Ah. How am I going to get... Oh, I'm going to have to go all the way over there now. Why did it blast past that train? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Right, let's put some legs on. Blast over there. In fact, let's put more on that on. So let's use the proper gate, so I try and avoid Get run over. I'm going to have to reverse this back. We can use the sidings in case something else turns up, but I have to reverse this back. So that should go that way? Yeah, okay. I don't understand why this set off. I have to do the same thing again of turning it round. So let's do that. So there, there. So move around there. Grab a bit of this rail. What a palaver. Oh. It's missing it. I think I might just leave that broken. Can I leave that broken? If I do that... So I need to fix all of that, but... I just want to get this train in. So why didn't you go to console 0? Oh, you did? But there's no wait condition. And they don't pause at all if you don't put a wait condition on. Right, so let's get you to pull up properly. Then we'll plop you a manual. Then we'll see how badly I got all of this wrong. So if I grab, say, I haven't got my, yeah, okay. Grab that again. Grab that. No. Grab that. What else? Grab. So I wanted to centralize these, basically. Yeah. Okay, so it's taken them out. What about the... I was going to put the bots in here, wasn't I? So put the bots in, and they should take them out again. Yep. And then, say, the laser turrets. I say I'm not going to bother with the gun turrets, because if they get that far in, that's them completely destroyed. We'll check the walls. Looks okay there. And what about you lot? So if we pop them in, that works. Ammo worked, didn't it? Okay, so it's not. It is aligned. That's okay. So what we actually need this to be called is out. What was it? Outpost reload or something? Outpost unload. And that'll then... Oh, have I done something super dumb here? Because these all appear to be... waiting. Why are you... Was unload? Is there a train in the way? I didn't change it. I bet there's... Is there some train waiting to come up here or something? No? Why are you just sitting there? You're not... Are you unloading? No, you're not unloading. So you're trying to go there. I'm causing chaos. So it's down here somewhere. Let's turn them off. No? Where is it then? So there's something here. Oh, is it trying to get here? No. It's trying to get all the way over there. Why? That's closed, which means another one went there. So why did it try and go there as well? I bet this is because of me fiddling about with stuff, basically. But I'm not entirely sure I understand why it's done that. I guess it's because I'm breaking lines and stuff. And it's one of the problems, as I say, with circular routes, basically, because what's actually happening every time I disconnect it and connect it is they get more options. And if they repath during that option and then I break the track, it can completely screw things over. More because they then try and go to their next stop, which they may not be able to access, you see. That's the real kicker. So I could have another one of these. You know, outputting some artillery as well. Depending on how often I have the trains set up, that might not be a bad idea. So the real intention of these is more to keep the area clear than to actually clear the area out. But it needs to be able to withstand that for the first time that, you know, they do this, basically. And that's what we'll test now. I wasn't quite anticipating doing that. I didn't think that. But hopefully, yeah, it's not overlapping with these lads anymore. So it's just whatever's formed here. I say we'll have to test this properly because we'll take it up down here somewhere. Properly in there, maybe. And we'll test it out properly. But I need to do the logic next. So I wasn't anticipating this taking quite so long. Now, what I haven't put filters on there, so I've missed that bit. Like that. But it means the bots have access to the repair packs from any of these chests by having these buffers. But they also they'll take things out and move things around. Yeah, the repair packs are centralized, as is ammo, as our sort of last line of defense, basically. So, what I actually need to call that's outpost unload. I say it'll have been when I change this over. Oh, it's the train limit. Okay. They got quite close then. That's probably one of the things that pops things up, because if you have big train limits, although the lines are broken, so they shouldn't even be attempted to come here. But I bet it was when I connected it. Because we've got one of these and we've got one of these. So where's the other one? Manually stop. No outpost. Outpost unload. There we go. It's because it's turned on and it's trying to access it, I guess. But let's send you back. I can sort all of that out later. I mean, I'm not fussed about. Did you fire again? So I'm not particularly fussed about, you know, the situation in terms of, you know, problems, etc. Right. So the next thing we need to test is that station. That I should probably put a proper break in now that we've got them both over here. No. In fact, let's do that. So, because we need to do the logic as well to control them. So if I put this train there, I can send it up and park it. So what I'll do, I'll put a proper break in the line here. And then I can connect that. Yeah, so I've now got a way of playing about with these trains. And hopefully I can send you... Why have you got to... Oh, of course I renamed it, didn't I? So if I send you up here... It's a bit worried it was on the track then. And you... I can get to come down here. So I'll have to turn it round and stuff. Now what are you? So if I pop you on manual, then you won't go anywhere, but you also won't get destroyed or anything. It's proven a lot more complicated than I was anticipating. So I forgot I'd need to do. Pop out manual. Drive in. Well, actually, can I? Well, I'll turn you around. And then can I get you to go there? Oh, no, I can't get you to go there. Manual. Shot past the station. Hopefully. Oh, no. Should have put that a bit further back because they're too long for the junction. So if I take you up there, and then I say to go to there, you will path. Hooray! Right, so do that. Put it on manual. Check that these lads did empty stuff. And they did, because there weren't any in there before. Awesome. Now these may kick in. I don't think they will, because anything that they could shoot, they could shoot. Right. Now, logic. Oh, why have you not got ammo? Oh, because I didn't put filters on there either. Logic, logic, logic. So, what I might be able to just do is basically copy and paste, or I might actually have... Did I have the old... What's that one? That's the regular counting trains. That's for the stations. That's my counters for the amount of fuel. So we do want to use that, don't we? Because we want to connect a similar sort of thing to that one. The trouble is, though, when do I actually want it turning up? I think I want it turning up more often than just this runs out of ammo, because these aren't being fired, you know, normal day to day. So it's really more to do with the walls getting destroyed, or the repair packs running out, isn't it? Really. So actually, if I put, say, another one of them on, and what am I doing if I just copy that over? So actually, I want this to be if the amount of... we could keep that one, but that needs to be less than 100. Not 10, 100. Because this is only holding 200. I also want walls. So if the amount of walls goes below 100, say. But it's done 10 again. Why is it done 10 again? Am I not hitting the button properly? But this one, I want to connect to repair packs. I think that's going to be the key one, because they're going to be repairing stuff all the time. Because those biters got quite close to the wall. So this needs to be like 100. And I need to hook this to that one. This to that one. And this to that one. And these are all saying, well, what are you doing? You're outputting 1, because there's only, oh, there's 100 walls in there. So actually that should be 50. So that gets less than 50. Output 1. Why are you outputting 1? Oh, because it's hooked up to the wrong end. Why is it hooked it up to that end? It wants to be hooked up to that end. So that's not outputting anything. That's not outputting anything. That is because there's not enough. Where are the repair packs? The repair packs are there. So if I put some repair packs in there, our repair packs is only stacks to 100, doesn't it? So if we put that to 50, I don't think I've got that many repair packs in the whole system here. You know, I don't think. I mean, between the spiders, there probably is. Do I want to test that? I could easily just test it with, because it's the same logic. So that's now doing 1. Yeah. So 50, 100, 50. So it's about half a stack, basically. So we want to hook this up there. And I doubt that'll reach. So we want to hook it up to, say, this one. Now, did I literally turn it to 1? I think I did. So where's that? It'll be this one, wouldn't it? So is this literally just if 1 is greater than 0? Yeah, okay. Excellent. So this is enable disable 1 is greater than 0. So it should be enabled because the repair packs is at 0. Okay. Right. The other logic then is a little bit more complicated. But I should have somewhere. Oh no, it's this one. Isn't it? Yeah, that's the logic. The problem is I can't put it in that gap. So what I can do is fit it in here, basically. Is that what it's doing? Let's go and stick it down over here. Yeah. So I need to recreate that, but sort of either... Unless, could I put it in here somewhere? No, wrong thing. No, it's too risky, isn't it, putting it that close, even if I could fit it in. Okay. So in that case, we want... Because it's a timer, which is this bit. So let's take that and put it in here. Let's put it there, because that's the output from the timer. And then it's a set reset latch, which is that one. Which we can put here. Hang on, how have I hooked that up? Hooks to that one, doesn't it? Yeah. So I can put it there. And then this should be a green wire connecting... Hang on. So we should have a... Let's turn that off. So a green wire from the output to the input. So the output of that one to the input of that one. Output of the equals to the input of the other one. So green wire. So output of the equals to the input of that one. And then I've actually got both of those as separate things. Does that matter? I don't think it does. Because got that, I mean that's already connected, but I got that there. So if I say red wire between these two. No, wait. Wait. Let's have a look again. So it's the output. Have I connected that up wrong? No. Because it's the input on this side. It's the output of these two. It's the output of those two. Which, I guess if we use another green wire? No. No, there's something wrong there. Hang on. Output? Oh, that's the input. Oh, of course, because it needs the signal. I've forgotten, yeah. It needs the signal from the train telling it the train number to reset it, basically. So it's the output there and in. Okay. So I keep coming over here. It's reversed, isn't it? That's what's confusing me. Because that's the opposite way around. Yeah, okay. So it's the output of the single one needs connecting, which I can do with a red wire. So the output of the output. Oh, I'm in map mode. Output, and we'll pop it. If I attach it to that, I should be able to attach it there. And then this green wire will take the other way. And what do I need to connect this to? I need to connect this to middle one input because it's the signal telling it the train number. Oh, I'm in map mode again. There. I can connect it all up and test it out, but... So you enabled? Set, no, I need it to set... No, not the train number. Enable disable, isn't it? What have I done? It is... This one. So if S... I need to read stop train and enable disable S and T. I'm going to forget that. Enable disable, read stop train. Enable disable, read stop train, T, S greater than 0. That's what it should be for a set reset. So, in fact, there's one here. So. Train station, train limit of 1, enable disable, read SC. Okay. Is this the same? No, because that's on 0. Why is that on 0? So train limit of 1. Enable disable, train ID. You should be doing a counter, which I should increase to double that. So every 20 minutes or so, you should be getting that signal. That's excellent. You're not getting anything because obviously there's no train here. What are you doing? Nothing because there's nothing changed. Okay. Right, I think that's all set up. Now, how do I test it? What's the best way of testing it? What we could do, I guess, is... Because this should be turned off for now. It looks like it's turned. There's so many wires here, it's difficult to tell. Disabled by control behavior. So that should take 20 minutes or something. Or we're about halfway, a third of the way through. I can always set this down to a low number. You know, knock a 0 off it and it'll turn the train on. This one is turned on because, you know, we need to stock up this thing here. Okay, so if I get rid of this. Oh, dear. So it's all hooked up now. Any train that does come should hopefully not come this way. So if we pop in here, get ourselves in the middle. We turn this train back on. It's waiting at arty-firing station for some reason. Destination full. Which one are you trying to get to? Trying to get to this one. Let's just send you to reload then. And let's turn you on. Well, actually, what I could do, because there's no, it's not got any pipes, is it? So if I just dash over, because we know because of them, if another artillery train comes, it's fine because I'm trapped in the woods. It's fine because it's not going to anger any more biters because those fixed artillery emplacements would be shooting at them as well. So I can just temporarily hop on board you. Oh, you're not empty. And what I can do is send you to that station. Now, is it shift or... Yeah, it's shift to go to the station, isn't it? Oh. Is that because you're not... Oh, does it not flip onto automatic then? I didn't know it did that, so I've got that into manual. Wars load, wars unload, outpost. Oh, it's trying to restock the Spidertrons. Nuts. I can manually fix that at some point. In fact, actually, I could probably just chuck more in there. Right, so if I turn this back on, it should go home. This one has turned on because it's been so long. So is there a train coming for there? Outpost unload. Sending wars unload. Outpost unload. Is it this outpost unload you're coming to? Yes. Oh, and it's that one. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's go and see that in action. Avoid getting run over. Why have you not... Oh yeah, that's one of the many errors in the blueprints. There's an inserter missing on that one. So it's things like that I could correct at some point, but I can't imagine that would be thrilling viewing for a stream. But it needs doing. As I say, I'm quite anticipating building this artillery outpost was going to take that long. Right, it looks like it's already gone, so it must have unloaded some stuff. Has that changed the condition on our logic? No, it hasn't. Why hasn't it? Because it's not enough? Oh yeah, it's the repair packs. It needs like 1 million repair packs. I should probably drop that down, actually. I mean, it doesn't... Because it's so many chests... It doesn't exactly need, loads of them. And these I could take it off altogether. We don't really need repair packs over here. So we can take them out and stick them in this chest. Get them to redistribute them. So they're 20 in each. Oh, did I not copy and paste that properly? Oh, I guess not. Oh. Did I not save it properly? 20. Copy, paste. Oh, that was strange. Let's take the excess out and get them to redo it. We'll see how many's left in here. So if I stick them in, I'll chuck those in. And then if I stick them in, I'll chuck those in. It should end up with less than 50, yeah, because 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, so it should have 40 left. So that's all working. Maths would appear to work. Oops, but when turns up, that should be it then, because this is all full of ammo. This is all full of walls, so it's just the repair packs, and it should be one more train to do that. So is a train coming? So you're heading to the walls. Okay, so none of them are coming. We're probably going to need more trains. It's sort of a bit, because it takes quite a few trips for them to load things up, but then once it's done, they virtually never come back again. So it's a bit sort of like, if I have more trains, then they'll do that initial job of filling up quicker, but then I'll have lots more trains sat idle because, they don't need to come back very often. And given how long it takes me to fill up, or to put down the outposts and stuff, and now that all the walls are full, I don't think there's any point doing that. And like this, I've set that timer to 20 minutes, so that's a really long timer. Why have you not got any stuff here? Oh, this looks full to me. Oh, is it not quite enough? Huh. So if there's that many there, what's this set on? I wonder what I've set that to. In fact, why is that only getting... Is that not... I can't tell from there. Maybe if I look at one of those. It should be hooked up to both. Oh, it isn't. Okay. It should be hooked up to both. Maybe I added one on and forgot to add that in. But it should be counting what's in both chests. Whereas it appears to only be counting what's in one of them. Okay. Another error in the blueprints. Are we coming? Outpost unload. Is that this outpost unload? No, it's that outpost unload. Okay. Walls load. They spend quite a lot of time here. Oh, destination full. Why is that? What I might have to do is have it so that it includes both, so it'll go back to walls load, even if so it isn't three. It's walls load, walls unload, walls load, what outpost unload, because it's clearly struggling somewhere. But aren't these set to... Isn't this station set to a limit of 1? It is. So why is one of them not set to 1? No, that's not set to 1. Now, is that an error in the blueprint or just a cock up I've done there? That's what's causing that problem. So that's 1. That's 1. So it could just be some error I've done where I've, literally on that very first, on that one specifically. Because that's set to 1. So it could just be some specific error there. Or it could be that there's an error in the blueprint and I've fixed it everywhere else, but not here. So you are trying to go there, but you can't. So I'll send you back towards load. It's because it's trying to get there because the train limit opens up to be infinite. And then when one train turns up, that fulfills the condition, that turns the station off, and then suddenly it's trying to get to a station that it can't get to, basically. That's what's causing that whole error. And it's, so it's partly because they've got those two in sequence. So if I made one of them made it go back home to restock between each type of one, that would allow a bit of a buffer for that. But also, it's another thing I need to check: is it an error in the blueprint that it's not got that innate, that um, train limit set. So I've got to say, a train here. Why aren't you doing anything? Because you're not quite full. Why aren't you quite full? Because you have one artillery left missing. No, you don't. Why aren't you full? Why are you saying you're not full? So it's now trying to get to Walls Unload. Oh, but it can't because that's broken, as it were. See, this is the difficulty with the system I've set up. In that, until one of those opens up, that return journey also wouldn't work. So the outpost unload. I mean, what I could do, I could add another train, for example, and we can have 2 trains that do the outposts and 2 that do the walls. Maybe. Do I need 2 that do the walls? I could do 1 that does the walls. But say, until this is a condition they can fulfill, I don't see how they'll get to that. Maybe when it turns on, it'll go through the list. But yeah, I suspect I'm going to need like 1 train doing the walls and 3 train, well, or 2 and 2 maybe. Or maybe it's just 1. Oh, I guess it must have come in the meantime. Right, okay. So that is that outpost blueprint done. So I've got the note there to remove this, but I've already taken it out, haven't I? Yeah, okay. So in theory, I could connect it with a T-junction if that is better, but really it's about sticking it in as the one. Now what I'll do then, I will bring over my Spidertron. I'm happy to leave this here. I'm not fussed about this being, Is everyone coming? Yeah. I'm not. I mean, this is fine here. I can always pick it up later, but there is this gap because what I'm trying to do basically is make sure that the track is permanently covered with some artillery in case the biters come and start chewing on the track. A bit like I did when they accidentally started firing here. So I need to blueprint this. Hopefully this works, but that's what we can test next. So grab all of this all the way up here, and then we tidy this bit up here, and this is I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this it can't quite resist, not that, the attacks, basically. And we'll probably have to add more laser turrets, I would suspect. Probably need more redundancy in terms of power lines. But say we can test that out next. We want train stop names. We want everything, basically. So that's it there. Now, I don't know if I've got enough stuff to build another one. And it's a bit risky to try. So we'll head back and kind of restock. And that'll give me because I'm only going till 6 today, but I need to pop for a little comfort break. So I'll just nip over and have a little comfort break and then be back in literally a couple of seconds. Right. It's good timing. Well, ish. So, pop that on. Do that. They don't appear to be bringing very much stuff over. Right. Did I mute my mic? Didn't I? Yeah. Right. Yes. So, what I'll do... I mean, I'm trying to think what would be a good position to do it. a good test point, because if we look at, so how far is this? It's sort of that far, isn't it? Because if I popped it in there, then we know this top end would be okay. We might just annoy some of them. I could put it in there, and we'll kind of see what happens. Maybe. Because that's quite a big range, so it would be... I'm going to point at my monitor. So if I put it sort of here, yeah, then it would cover all of this area here. And that's a heck of a lot of biters. The other option is I could go all the way up here, because I've got quite a big area here. Trouble is, getting up there, we might find that there's lots of biters close by. I mean, if we do this... Because what I want them every so often, basically. And really, I should do the artillery range first, so that, or a couple more, so that I'm happy with how far. Because I want these to overlap, basically, and they don't quite overlap at the moment. It's not far off, this one in particular, but I don't know whether it's one more range or two more ranges. But if we do any of the ranges, suddenly there'll be attacks all over the place, and I may have to do a bit of a save scum in that, like I did before, where if it just completely annihilates all of my outposts, then I need to be... Well, I'm not sure I can be bothered to do all the expensive rebuilding rather than just reloading it, basically. Is that it? I'd have thought we were down more stuff. So have you got... Yeah, you look full. So we need a nice place that's going to work as a good test case. Because we do want to anger some biters. The question is how many, you see. I think I'm going to put it in here. And then we know we're going to shoot at all of these lads. But probably avoid these. And then I can just pick it up later on. If it turns out that's a rubbish place for it, I can just pick it up. But so I need to be careful, because I don't know how close the colonizations are. And of course these lads, the military ones, have got laser turret, explosive, rockets in them and stuff like that. So, it could get quite messy quite quickly. What I thought I was going to do this stream was more picking up the actual, like getting that one, because I don't want to go... Well, I thought maybe what I'd end up doing is do more exploring out here, and trying to find some nice big, patches, because these are pretty wimpy actually, considering how far out it is. They're actually fairly wimpy. But yeah, ultimately, bottom, that's done up, because the autosave. So if I put them, say, there, they shouldn't blow any... Actually, if we could... Well, actually, I need to kind of... In fact, that's the point. Do I need... Let's leave the, chemical and all that ones here. So they're fairly close by if we need them. And then when the ones we've got should be out... I might need to build some stations. In fact, it might be quite convenient if it just ghosted the stations. But this is all of the lads with, laser turrets and all that sort of stuff. So when we get over here, I'll jump out and switch out the roboports. And then we'll basically, work our way up here. So we just put a little marker here. Just put it here to remind me. And we can I can plop it in, see what happens essentially. I say I don't think I've got train stations on me now. I think they're all in, the that one. But that would be quite convenient, as I say, because I could then set it up with all the laser turrets, etc., without the things happening, and I could probably turn my bots off and manually plop down the artillery one first, maybe. Right, so we don't want anyone to have them. We just want shields, really. Shields, and more shields. Excellent. Let's just check. So shields. They've all got one more than me. So if I do that, then we're all equal. So we shouldn't end up accidentally getting blown up. For me, I don't need any legs. I only need one roboport. But we will have a whole load of lasers. Shields in case I somehow accidentally drop out of it. And that should be that. So what we'll do, we'll go down here, just test everything out. Oh, I need to turn my bots off. Cool. Okay, so that seems to work. So there's only 40 minutes left. Right, so if I walk over, I'm not going to auto bot it, as it were. In fact, we might be better getting everyone following me directly rather than following a follower, because that'll put them all a bit closer. So, I need to be particularly careful here, because there's not a lot of room to play with. If there are biters here, we'd end up blowing up our railway track. And although it's incredibly cheap, but also a bit of a pain to replace. So let's get off. In fact, let's go to the top. Let's get off the beaten track. And a bit further than that, I think. There we go. And then we'll walk over. I say we'll plop down the well, it's not an outpost, the artillery, station, as it were. And as I say, I don't think it has stations on it, so it'll let them build it. And then I can put the artillery one in. I mean, I could, because he's got artillery shells in him. So I could actually just test test it that way. Because that'll have a limited... it kind of depends. I'm going to need to saturation test it, ultimately. What I mean by that is basically, so if I get the train to come over, it's got 500 shells on it, and that'll be 5 extra artillery pieces, effectively. So it'll have 7 artillery pieces with 500 shells, and they'll just blat out, shell after shell after shell, and they'll probably wipe out all of the biter nests, well, nearly all of the biter nests in the local region, and then the response will come. The response will be big. But if I just put in, say, 10 shells into the system myself manually, then it'll only fire off 10 shells, and so we will get a response, but it won't be anywhere near as big. So I think I'm going to do that as the first test. Where are we going to put this? Let's put it here. Put that there. Oh, I haven't got any track, have I? No, I should have track. There we go. Just didn't have the bots on. Right, so this is the blueprint. We'll plop this in. I don't have trains on me, do I? Stations, rather. No. And we'll get everyone to build it. Fingers crossed I'm right about the stations. So this is just what I've got on me. I need to put the bots back in the thing, but I'm not sure I've got enough rail. I mean, it kind of doesn't matter if I'm not going to bring the stations over yet. Yep, no, or am I just one short? No, there we go. Okay. So let's get the bots working on the other spiders. Pop that out. I'm going to have to move them out of the way because of the explosive shells issue. I don't want all my hard work getting blown up by my own spidertrons. Have you got? No, you haven't, have you? There you go. Right, so let's go and see if we can fill it all in. So no one's filled in the station, so that's good. Everything's there, but there's no power. Why is there no power? Is that just that there's no... Huh. Why is there no power? Is there a break in the line? Oh, there is. I forgot about that. Yeah, when I was laying this down, these are ever so slightly too far apart. Bum. Either I'm going to have to send them over. Let's send them over. Right, so let's go there. And when they get there, I can put the power thing in. Right. So, basic idea here is we'll get the... Oh, of course, nobody's got buffer chests, have they? Right. So that's a bit of an error. They won't have filter inserters either. So I need to make how many? Oh no. That looks like somebody does have filter inserters. That's interesting. Who's got filter inserters then? Because you haven't. Oh, there we go. Okay. So why don't I get you to have buffer chests as well? I can't remember where they are. So we'll plop buffer chest here, I guess. Cool. Okay, so I do need to make them because we haven't got them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're missing the stations. Are they there yet? Nope. Because I mean, obviously the spidertrons, I need to move them out of the way, basically, because otherwise they'll blow up the entire thing. What's that moaning about not having? Oh, that's the stations. So yeah, I'll say I'll put in, because I'll manually grab, say 5 of these. Well, there are only 5, I think. There you go. So plop them in, but I also need the ammo. So put that in, say, in here, manually. We also need, one of them has bots, I'm pretty sure. There you go. So put those bots in. So they'll do the business. We're going to need, certainly we're going to need repair packs. And they've definitely got some of them. And then we can put some spare walls in. Let's put the repair packs just in there. Bots we don't care about. Lasers, whatever. Cool. Okay. Right. Are we there yet? Yes, we are. Okay. So I need 1 of these in there. And we should now be powered up. We're now powered up. We're just waiting for you to power on. And then the bots... Oh no, they're refilling me. Or not me. They're refilling the spiders. Of course. So we want... What was it? 300... 600... And... Whose repair packs did I take? Was it you? I just have them anyway. And the walls, they probably refilled. We'll get there in a minute. Let's put those two in there. And grab those walls. And then I'll jump out. And send everybody... Oh, look. We'll send everyone up there to have a bit of fun. And then I'm going to stand in the middle. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to manually save it because the autosave is quite far apart now. So we would lose quite a bit. I say this is more to test, you know, everything, and then I'll start sticking them in. Turn that off. So I need to put the repair packs in there. Put the walls in there. Put the ammo in there. So yeah, so let's save the game. So save, bit of saves coming. Never hurt anybody. Don't let anybody tell you it didn't. Right, so we'll put them in. They should chuck a few rounds in. They're obviously going to focus on these because they're the closest. But it should trigger a response. They're really inefficient. Because all it's done there is hit one thing. Power. So this should say it should trigger a response. It takes them a while to aim laser turrets, doesn't it? I'm wondering about moving this in, basically. Okay. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'm going to brave it. We're going to make a train stop. And we're going to put it in here. And that should be our arty firing station. I'm surprised it's on. Why is it on? Because the timer should mean it should be off. Okay. Are you coming here? No, you're going there. Okay. So I'm a bit puzzled as to why that's on. Suggests I've hooked the... Because that's what it should do. Turn off when the train arrives. But that shouldn't, unless... My timer... No, it's 72,000. So you're outputting 7,000. Why are you outputting? S is greater than R. I guess it has it once, maybe? So until our first train turns up and turns it off again, it must be on. We'll have to see. Right. But a train should hopefully be coming. So this one is coming. It's going to take a while to get here, isn't it? I wonder if I could maybe mop some of this stuff up. Oh, I've turned the roboports on, so I don't really want to do this. See, I mean, this is what I'm saying, and it is the sort of threat that the biters do pose, in the sense that, you know, they will colonise all the area that you clear out. It's just that they do so in such wimpy numbers that it's not actually a problem. Well, this might be a bit trickier because number of worms. No. But you can see, I mean, this is the area that's going to get cleared out by the train turning up. And it's kind of a ridiculous number of biters in reality. Somebody coming? No. So yeah, I mean, it's actually sort of easier to clear out the area with spidertrons first. So is somebody coming? RT reload. So you should be here. Here he comes. Right, as I say, prepare for absolute chaos. Let's move you a bit further away. So it turns up. Will this turn the station off? Yes, excellent. They do refueling. The artillery goes absolutely bonkers. What I can do, I can send it off manually, because there is this issue that once they've shot everything, it'll drive away manually. So what I can actually do, I can send it away, because if it crashes into biters, basically it stops, because there's this bizarre thing that behemoths can apparently withstand the impacts from enormous trains. So they've absolutely, I mean, they've unloaded loads of shells, so they have triggered a set of attack waves. They're not big numbers coming in yet. So this shouldn't turn back on until 20 minutes, you see. And I say, the big thing with them, it's like I should almost have two versions. One that's, new attack, newly set up, tons of defense like this, and then a smaller one where it's just like, the 10 biters that come over from clearing a base. A newly formed. Here we go. And I don't mind losing bots, if they get sufficiently mullered. That's the whole point of having the reload system. Because the bots tend to carry a lot of repair packs. Oh, there's no radar here, is there? That's why it's so close range. You see, it blows up a single turret, laser turret, and they either repair it or what got blew up. Yeah, so it's the bots that are getting destroyed. But every time they blow up a bot, they also blow up, however many repair packs it's carrying, which is usually quite a lot. So this blueprint needs a radar. at the very least. That's been missed off. I might put 2 in, actually, because, you know, thinking in redundancy terms. Where can I put them? I could put one there and there, maybe? So that gives us a nice bit of redundancy and a nice coverage. So I can add that into the blueprint. I mean, what I could also do, I could get these to restock. I could plop this in. Maybe. So let's build another station. Plop that down here. That should turn on. Will anybody come here? That's the question. So it's 10 to 6 already, so we're nearly done on this stream. I'm pretty much going to have to cut off. So we didn't make any real outposts at all. But what should happen now is that train should, in theory, turn up. Or a train should come here. Maybe? They're all going to Walls Low, so it's going to be ages before one does. But it should turn up, basically. And, like, trickle in. Because this is only set to 5. So, in theory, you know, they should turn up with 5 and do it like that. What I could do, temporarily, to give us another test... Will it turn up in time? I could set this, you see, I could set my timer down. So if I set this down to 7,200, that should turn it on, which it does. And then I'll set it back again. Because that won't matter. Yeah. So that should call up another artillery train. I could also, I mean, I could hook in light here, couldn't I? To each of them. Maybe? Maybe do that. What does that do? So if that's greater than... Did I set it this as X? It was just 1, wasn't it? So if 1's greater than 0... No. Oh. Is that just because it's linked to... Yeah, it's linked across, isn't it? So... I mean, I could set it up, actually, to the input condition, couldn't I? So in other words, if I set it to that, and set that to be that walls is... Was it 50? Oops. 503. Service unfound. Yeah, okay. Let's do that then. And then I can tell which one it's using, which one it's calling up. So, ammo less than, was it 100? And repair packs less than 50. So yeah, so that means that that train is coming in because of repair packs. Cool. Unfortunately, I have created a situation where both trains are coming, and I don't. If they both go at the same time, one of them's going to sit on the on the tracks. So that's not ideal. I can set. I mean, manually, I can send one of them home, but as I say. So this one's nearly here. And that one's nearly here. Brilliant. So they have come both at the same time. Wow. Okay. So hopefully this will clear out fairly quickly. If not, I'll just send it back. But how do they manage to turn up basically at the same time? I'm not on the track, am I? No. So that should go fairly quickly, I think. Quicker than the biters will arrive, anyway. I think. Yeah, so that's gone. It has to fully clear out. And then this one turns up. Oh, outpost unload is still wanting stuff because of repair packs. Okay. How about we send this home? Fingers crossed. There's no biters on the track. If they are, they're further down. They do spam out the shells. So I did do one more shooting speed, I think. It's more to look at that. It's more to sort of test. Here we go. So they've eaten that already, you see. It's because of the pathing. They get to something and they... Oh, crikey. So we've got a double wave coming in. Blimey. So they can't, they can take out, chunks of the defences, which is kind of as expected. The key thing is, if they hit a power thing, then it just renders the whole thing dead, basically. So it's things like that, where it's like, do I put redundancy here? But it's really dependent on, like why have they gone there? You see what I mean? It's because I think it paths to a rough estimate, and these are now searching for something to attack. So are they going to attack? Missing repair packs now, you see, so we can't repair anything. Are they going to attack this power line? Oops. And they are. You see, they're attacking. Yeah, you see, they're attacking the thing. Right. And it's because it gives them a rough area of attack, and then they start searching for things. So there's nothing fired at them from over here. It's just that they've then gone on a bit of a rampage and attacked whatever's close by. And I can send the spiders in. Oh, and it has taken out the power now, you see. But it also blows up the track, which means we're powerless. It's a real pain, to be honest with you. Right. So I need to probably dash over there, maybe, without getting run over. So if I put legs on, turn my bots on. I say the sort of problem is, if this is... Because this has probably caused pathing problems as well. So that's great, that's fine. But I say there's probably now a train stuck somewhere that can't path to that station anymore. I say I'm not entirely sure how to fix that as such, because it is a sort of an issue of redundancy, really. I mean, I don't want to have to do like armoured rails, because I can put lasers and stuff on rails. But they have to be really big, significant defences to, as you saw, to get rid of, to take on biters. Otherwise, it's sort of just a waste of resources, really. I could put walls around the rails. That's cheap, and that gives me a big buffer. But how many? I mean, the number of rails I'm going to need is ridiculous. So I bet there's a. Yeah, there we go. So it can't path round, you see, because it's trying to get here. Track disappears. Can't get here. I mean, eventually it might repath. Maybe. So why aren't you pathing over here? Because it doesn't tell you which one it was going to is sort of the problem. If I just do that, clear that out, will you work out a path now? No, destination full. You see, so why is it not pathing over here? Oh, because there's already a train coming. That has a train limit of 1, though. Is there another one that I've not... Did I not get them all? Train limit of 1. Train limit of 1. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think I need one train that goes to the, one thing, and one train that goes to another. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock, and I need to stop for the week. Unfortunately, nobody appears to have joined me this week. I'm gonna do my usual thing, which I know amuses people on YouTube, because there are quite a few people who watch on YouTube. Oh, I say quite a few. You're talking tiny streamer scale, but there are a few people who watch the VODs on YouTube, and I know quite enjoy the series. So hello to you guys and gals, and anything in between, whatever you prefer yourself to be. Yeah, so I'm. If you're watching for the first time, so I'm Trismegistus. You can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, and Twitter at Trismegistus. On YouTube and Twitter, it is alias to Triggles. So you're looking for Trismegistus or Triggles in order to find my content. I stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting at 3 p.m. BST. And on Friday, I stream Satisfactory for a couple of hours, just a sort of fun thing after work. But then on Saturday and Sunday, I do my main ongoing series, which is this Factorio Megabase, Can I Megabase series, where I've never made a Megabase. And this is my attempt to do so, to learn how to do that in my way of doing it. So we have trains turning up, dropping off artillery. I'm wondering, really, whether I shouldn't remove the artillery, the outpost one. Because we've got these two here. They turn up, this drops off whatever it is, X bits of X shells, whatever it is, 30 or something, and they're done then. And so that limits the attack wave. If this one turns up, it's a massive number of shells and things, and there's no point, because it's going to do it initially to clear it out and probably wipe out this station. Yeah, I think I prefer that idea, actually. I only refuel this with with these. Refuel it, restock it, basically, with the outposts. Yeah, I think I prefer that idea. And I can use the main, whatchamacallits, to properly clear out biters. Anyway, so I was doing my self-promo stuff. Yes, so you can find me on Twitch doing Satisfactory and Factorio Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. And every stream starts at 3 p.m. BST. You can find a schedule on my page to show you when that is in your local time. The Factorio ones are usually 3 hours minimum, more often 4, but occasionally, like today, I just have to do a short one, or shorter one. I also have a YouTube channel. You can find my stuff there. We've got a big wave coming in here. Should be interesting. big way. And I upload the VODs for the Satisfactory on the Friday. Messing about with times. I think 6 a.m. is quite a good time. Seems to work best. But Satisfactory VODs on Friday, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's quite loud, isn't it? Tuesdays and Thursdays for the Factorio VODs. They're unedited. It's the full thing, which I know the people over there, or you guys, seem to like as well. So that's all good. What else? No, I think that's it. So I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully that'll be a 4-hour stream, but I may need to do that one at 3 hours as well. And that one I will definitely put in the actual outpost. So we'll find some nice patches, and we'll put in some outposts. I prefer this. I think I'll get rid of the artillery because it's too much of a pain to have them spam out and destroy everything, and then all that is the occasional outpost train, and I need to switch that around, that clears out a bit of it, and we repel that attack. Then it clears out a bit more, we repel that attack. It clears out a bit more, we repel that attack, and it just keeps going until it's clear. And then, yeah, I like that idea more. So I need to change this up, basically. Yeah, because this train unloads real quick as well. With this, and then I could shorten that inactivity thing, make it 5 seconds or something as well. And there you go. They're only just firing, and it's about to leave. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So a bit of refinement to this maybe tomorrow, but then we will find some actual patches, and we will put in at least like coal and stone and coal and stone. Get them put in so that I've got them available to me as well. Yeah, so if you've been watching, thanks for doing so, and hopefully you'll join me on another one, or come say hi. I mean, say if you watch on YouTube, feel free to drop in and say hi on the live streams. I promise I don't bite very often. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.